Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and pleased to be, it's Debsy, bloop, bloop, that's me, boop, Debsy. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful week so far and had a great day, is having a great day. We're going to talk about Sister Wives, the one-on-one. This is part 1 of 4. So this was aired on Sunday. So we're gonna talk about it. I made copious notes. Let's just get right off the bat. I did like the fact that they put out there that per the family, they will not be discussing Garrison and Garrison's passing. That I 100% agree with. There were episodes that were out there honoring him, and I feel that is a good thing to do. Okay. We start off with everybody getting ready to go to Arizona for this one-on-one with Suki. What the hell is that hairstyle that Cody has? First of all, Cody's hair, okay, I'm going to say, first of all, my hair always leaves something to be desired. However, I'm going to tell you, he has that ramen noodle curls, and then it's bald up here, but then he has that little bit of hair that he like has to curl inward. So it's it's curled inward. And it's just it's like a little, it's like an eclair topping or something. What was that? I thought that looked so ridiculous. Also, in the beginning where he's talking to Sob and Robin, and she's like, I don't want to go. I would rather get a root canal. I don't want to go. And then he's talking about like their first one-on-one that they did, and it was terrible except for when he's talking about Robin's makeup that they did. And when he introduced the tongue and what he does when he sees that picture, I threw up in my mouth a little bit. That was by far one of the most disturbing things I've seen on TV in a while. Okay, so everybody's getting ready to go. Let's go, Janelle. Listen, Janelle doesn't have nothing to worry about. She's like, she has nothing to worry about. She is a straightforward queen. She tells it exactly like it is. She's like, Suri is, she's tough. She asks tough questions, but she's so nice. So I just got to make sure that I don't talk like I'm just talking to one of my friends. I remember that, hey, I'm on TV. So David is actually going with Christine. I'm going to tell you, when she shows up, Queen shows up slaying in that hot pink suit. Loved it. I mean, listen, living well is the best revenge, and she's getting revenge. Mary made a good point. Mary's like, I'm not worried about going, because I'm reminded of that saying that when you're lying, you have to remember your lines. Like, you have to remember what to say. You have to keep your story straight. She's just going to go. She's going to be herself. She's going to tell the truth. She don't have to remember what to say, because it's all going to be the truth. Okay, so everybody gets there. And the question, like little icebreaker question that Suri has is, if your life could be a movie title, what would it be right now? Or if it could be a movie, what would it be? Janelle goes with fried green tomatoes because of the one character in the movie is like changing her life. She is reimagining her life, and I like that. I thought that was a great answer. Cody, fuck you, Cody. That's not what he said. He said, what about that movie with Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze, Point Break? That made no sense, by the way. Absolutely none. He's like, well, it would be point broken. Oh. And then comes back afterwards and is like, no, wait, I have a better one. It's Batman Returns. But it's not when he dies the hero, but it's when Batman lives long, when you live long enough to become the villain. And they're like, so have you become the villain? He's like, no, it's just that I've become villainized. You did that to yourself. And lastly, Mary's was maybe the best. Mary's was a good answer because Mary's was Wild. Wild, I forgot about it, but Wild was that movie where Reese Witherspoon played Cheryl Strayed or something like that. But it was a woman who was going out after like all these bad things, some good things, but some bad things had happened to her. And she's going out and she's just finding herself. She goes and she hikes the Pacific Coast path or something like that. And she goes through all of these like trials and tribulations and she finds herself. And I love that because Mary was like, she had a lot of bad things happen to her, a lot of good things. But then she went out, she found herself, and she realized that everything that happened to her in her life made her who she is and put her where she's at right now. I love that answer. And then Christine's answer was Everything Everywhere All at Once because there's like so much chaos in her life, but she's so happy and she loves it all. And Suki was like, how about Legally Blonde? Now, I'm sure people were like, well, it's because, she's blonde because of the pink suit and she's like stepping out. But this, from what I understand, this was taped 2 weeks after Christine sued Cody for, I believe, custody. I have to go through and take a look at that lawsuit. Okay, I'm not going to talk about every single thing they talked about, but I just wrote down some notes. Cody says it's hard to be held accountable for things you say when they're said like in the heat of the moment. So I'm wondering, like, is he saying that he should not be held accountable for that? To be honest with you, I feel like those may be your truest times because that's when your emotions are the rawest and that's when they're not filtered. So there, to me, in the heat of the moment, that might be the truest feelings. He should be held accountable for those if they're shitty. There was talk about rewriting the past. He claims Mary rewrote the past a lot and that he did sometime, but he rewrote, for him, it seemed like it was okay that he rewrote the past because he rewrote the past based on like the space, his headspace that he was in at the time of like the breakup. So he said he has like 5 different iterations of the truth. And that's where the problem is. I mean, there's one truth. I mean, so depending on where he was at the time, that's what you're going to get for the truth from him. Okay. So this deal with him wanting to elevate all his other relationships to where he was with Robin, because he comes out, he says he wanted to elevate all of his other relationships to where he was with Robin. But then he says he could never love anyone like he did, like he loved Robin. So, I mean, then it's impossible. You could never elevate those other relationships to where your love at was for Robin, because it's impossible, because that's unreachable. It makes no sense. And honestly, how about not even doing that? How about just letting the other wives be just who they are, instead of trying to be Robin? Who wants to be Robin anyways? And also, per Cody, listen, there goes my cane. It's not what he said. Per Cody, the reason why Robin and Cody's marriage was like so divine and was just like the best and like untouchable and the greatest is because of communication, negotiation, and self-respect. So then we get into the whole like, who had self-respect? Janelle comes right out. She's like, listen, honey, I had self-respect, and Cody damn well sure respected himself. Christine had no self-respect. Christine's self-respect, I feel, depended on Cody, because her whole life revolved around him. Like, it was all about pleasing him and doing what he needed done to be happy. And now that she's out, like, she sees that was just so toxic. Now that she's out, she has self-respect for herself. Now she's with a man who doesn't depend on everybody to like stroke his ego and make him so like, and blow his ego up and his head up so big. You know, she doesn't have to worry about making sure everything is great with him, and she can like devote time to herself. As far as, then they ask Cody, did you respect them? Cody, did you respect them? Well, as we find out, them meaning the three that left him. So he respected Mary the most. He respected Mary more than Janelle, and he respected Janelle and Mary more than he respected Christine. What I got from this is that he really hates Christine. Like, there is absolutely no love lost for Christine. He hates Christine. And if I was Christine, I'd be like, that fits me perfectly fine. I think the reason why he hates her so much is twofold. Number one, she did just sue him at that point, like 2 weeks before. But also, more importantly, listen, I think he hates her so much because she was the first one out. Like, she was the one that got the ball rolling. Like, Janelle and Mary were probably thinking about it, but they were like, I don't know that I want to be the first one out. Mary was like, maybe we could work this out. And Janelle, I'm thinking Janelle had it maybe in her mind, but when they saw that Christine left, and then they saw like how Christine was flourishing outside of it, there was hope. Like, Christine was hope that they could get out too. And maybe he hates Christine because during this show, he comes out and says that, well, the reason why I didn't want these divorces is because of the children. It's not because of my ego. It's because of the children. I think he was pissed that Christine left, and that started the others leaving, because in the eyes of the church, because at the time he was still kind of in the church, I believe, and he still had a relationship with God, and so he would look like a failure in the eyes of the church. When they asked Mary if she respected herself, she said that she didn't respect herself just because of her struggles, but Also, and because at the time she was in a dark place, that was probably around the time of the catfishing. And because of like her perceived failures in the family, like, I don't think that she failed in the family, but here's when you put it up against like Robin, it's like, oh, well then of course everybody's a failure. Cody talking about how Cody really still thinks he takes accountability and nobody else does, which is insane. Robin says that Cody told her that, once again, that he tried to lift all of his relationships up so that they're at the same level of Robin's, like as him and Robin's marriage. None of the other women buy this. Christine was like, first of all, he was never available to me to even do that. So how would that happen? Janelle, I like the fact that Janelle used humor a little bit during this. Janelle said, well, if that was the case, he never told me. Like, he never communicated that to me. And this is him just practicing revisionist history, which we all know he likes to do. And Mary, and I agree. Fair point with Mary is that's really not fair, because each of the women are separate individuals. And Mary just wants to be Mary. She doesn't want to be, why would she want to be Robin? Why would anyone want to be Robin? Another thing that I liked when they were talking about like love, and did Cody love me, and did you love Cody? Do you think Cody loved me? The thing that I thought was really disrespectful, Mary made a good point. Mary said it was disrespectful for him to talk like that about Mary, because Mary was the one who started the whole family off. She was the first wife. She got all of this started. So if it wasn't for Mary starting this, Robin wouldn't have even met her like soulmate. So I agree. I thought that was disrespectful. They talked about Mary finally leaving. And she said the word that really hit him the hardest was the word abandonment. Remember, she went to the church. She asked for a release on the grounds of abandonment. And Mary brought up a good point, though. Mary was like, he wouldn't leave me because of the church, which is crazy, because he doesn't practice anymore. He doesn't go to church. So why exactly were you so worried about what the church would think? And then there was talk about Cody was afraid. Cody said he was afraid of what Mary would do. And everybody's like, what do you mean? I mean, Janelle was like, that. I thought that was so stupid. What does he mean? Like, does he think she's going to become like a psycho killer or something, or what? And Christine had said that they didn't know what Mary was going to, if she was going to be easy or hard to deal with. You kind of had to walk on eggshells. She didn't say any more because she's like, listen, I don't want to throw Mary under the bus. That was a long time ago. Mary has changed. And we're fine. Everything's cool. Cody then feels like something shifted in Mary after they got the divorce. And then Cody married Robin so that he could adopt her kids. But he won't say what it was, because he wants to protect Mary, We're friends now. I want to protect Mary. That's why you talk shit on her. No. And there was a little bit more talk about the word abandonment. Christine, listen, I agree. Christine says that Mary was abandoned. We all were. They absolutely all were abandoned. They were all abandoned at some point for Robin. And Christine says that the beginning of the end really was when Mary divorced and he was then legally married to Robin. That was the beginning of the end. I find it, and then they ask Robin about abandonment, and she suddenly is quiet and is like, out of respect to Cody and Mary, I'm just not going to speak on it. I mean, I thought that was odd. I thought she was going to really stick up for Cody. There is something that he refuses to speak of at first because he wants to protect her. And I'm really feeling like, is it the catfishing? Is that something that he doesn't want to mention? So also according to Robin, abandonment, because Suri was like, does he have such a problem with abandonment? The word abandonment. And she's like, Robin says, well, it's because it hits hard for Cody because he's so present. Right. He's present for you and he's present for your kids. Everybody else, not so much. Cody does say that the catalyst to the end for him was the catfishing. And Robin's like, well, you get two different stories on that. He says that she kicked him out, and Mary says that she just wanted some space. And Mary had said that they had both like some very difficult times for each of them that kind of weakened their marriage. Getting to Janelle, when he's talking about Janelle, he's like, we went through a renaissance. I mean, before Vegas for like 10 years, we were terrible. But then in Vegas, everything was good. And then it just wasn't. I'm telling you, listen, Janelle's always been that honest queen. That's why Janelle's my favorite. Now here's the thing. Cody says he didn't want to give up because, listen, Janelle is like, I think that he didn't want to lose me because in the polygamous church, in the church, if a man loses wives, if he's in polygamy and he loses wives, then he's a failure. And that's a big hit to his reputation in the church and his ego. And Cody claims, no, that's not true. That's not true. I didn't want to give up on them or on my marriages because of the kids. This is the same kids that you kicked out during COVID, and the same kids that you still don't talk to now. Okay. It has nothing to do with your ego or the church. Even though you said multiple times in the past that any man who is living the polygamous life and loses wives is looked at as a failure. Okay. But then when they go to Robin and they're like, hey, was Cody a failure? No, we were all failures. Somebody was a bigger failure than most, though. I mean, there's 3 marriages that did not work. There is one common denominator in all of them. And that name starts with a K and ends with a Y. Okay, the question from Suri to Robin was, why don't you watch the clips? I didn't know that she doesn't watch the clips. She doesn't watch the clips, and she says, I don't watch them because they're destructive. They're toxic. I get that. However, to me, feel like she doesn't watch them because she doesn't want to hear what everyone has to say. She doesn't respect their opinions. She refuses to believe anything that doesn't come out of her own mouth or her husband's mouth. That's what I think. Listen, after all of this, I'm going to tell you what. I thought Cody Brown was a POS before this, and I think he's a POS after this. I thought he was disrespectful to all of the women, including Suri and excluding Robin. And it looks like in this episode, he was combative on some questions, but from what it looks like he's just refusing to answer questions in an upcoming episode. Listen, if I was Suri, I wouldn't force him to answer questions. Just let him do what he's going to do. You don't have to work so hard to make him look bad. Just sit back. Let him not answer the questions. He looks bad all on his own, and you still collect a check. That's what I would do, Suri. I'm just saying. So listen, that was part one. And I can't stand Cody Brown. This did nothing to make me think better of Cody Brown, and this didn't do anything to make me think better of Robin either. So, okay, in the comments, if you watched, let me know what you thought. And if nobody told you yet today you were loved, seen, and heard, please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world so it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Be aware of your surroundings. Be smart and safe. Hydrate often with some water. And if you're in a dangerous situation, please make sure that you remember that Dolly and I are sending out our love, our thoughts, and our prayers, and all the positive energy that you need to make it through. Love you guys. And I will see you on Thursday for some talk about the moms from TikTok, for Mom Talk. I will see you guys Thursday. Bye, guys. Bye.